What's up, guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here. So E3, I want to say it's like a week away, but it's actually less than that, depending on which E3 shit you care about. If you care about like Nintendo shit, then your E3 starts in a few days with the Pokemon Direct. If you're someone who cares about companies like EA, I don't know how you could, but hey, if you care about EA, then your E3 starts, what is it, next weekend? So like a week, barely a week or so from the day. And then if you care about the conferences, then you're watching Microsoft next Monday, I believe. But because of that, and because also I'm trying to promote healthy eating, I'm going to be eating a banana every time I do an E3 predictions video. And hopefully, this shit will be gone in a matter of days. I've been trying to eat more fruits. Fruits are always my bad point. I can eat a lot of vegetables but not a lot of fruits. So today we're starting with Microsoft. I imagine I'm going to get through at least 2 of these, but hey, whatever. Microsoft, y'all already know, I'm not the biggest fan of. Microsoft conferences always kind of devolve for me into a bunch of third-party shit. And to be fair to Microsoft, over the past few conferences, they've either shown a bulk of games or they focus on things that they've had previous weaknesses in. For example, showing off Devil May Cry, Kingdom Hearts 3, what was the other one I'm thinking of? Oh, Jump Force. Games that are Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, showing games that they don't necessarily have the audience for, hence why it's like, hey, cool, Devil May Cry, playing it on PlayStation 4 or PC. Hey, cool, Tales of Vesperia, playing that on PlayStation 4 or PC or Switch. Oh, cool, Jump Force, not playing that because it's a bad fucking game. Looks beautiful, but it's a bad fucking game. So, I never like making this video because this video never seems genuine coming from me because I'm not really excited for shit. I've already talked about it a little bit on Juice and Loose, but I wanted to make my own specific video on it. The only thing that's come out news-wise that has made Microsoft's things even less exciting is the news that they're putting Game Pass on PC. What? So I can now literally get any first-party Xbox title on my computer on top of the games that were already being released on Steam, which was a lot of fucking games already. And that came out before the goddamn conference. So literally what's going to end up happening is just like last year. I'll be getting that for another console, I'll be getting that for another console. Except here, even the Xbox games I would be excited about, I'm going to be saying, oh, that's cool, I can't wait to play that on Game Pass on PC. What? What are we doing? What are we doing, Microsoft? I almost want to say you've given up on this fucking generation entirely. Just like, fuck it, we're going to just see if we can make any money at this point. Heard recently Cuphead's coming to Tesla cars. Don't know why that's a thing, but hey, there's more money. Now, there has been rumors that apparently they're supposed to have like 14 first-party titles, which to me doesn't mean a lot because once you told me Game Pass is now on PC, I now have less reason to get excited about buying an Xbox console. Even if the next Xbox console was announced and revealed during this whole 2-hour presentation, and even if it is backwards compatible, all these games are going to end up coming to Game Pass because they're Microsoft. If they are Microsoft first-party games, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy Game Pass on my PC and play them. But for the sake of argument, let's ignore that because it's already ridiculous in its own right. But it kind of has gone into the trend of what I've already been suspecting for a while. Microsoft cares so little about the console, the box itself being bought, that they're just like, fuck it. If you buy our products, we get a cut of that anyway. So it's like pretty much doing like what Sega did, becoming third party, but still having like a better brand recognition, I guess. Which, okay, if that's what you want to do, fine, but don't sit up here and like we're supposed to be excited about new hardware. New hardware means less to me when I have games that I don't need to play on there. But like I said, let's try to ignore that. So 14 titles. Let's go through the games that'll probably be on that list. Halo Infinite, Battletoads, Gears 5, none of the Gears games came out. So it was like Gears 5. It was like a remake of Gears 1, I think. And then like the Pop game, that's like a strategy game, which is 5 titles right there. I know a lot of people think, oh, we're not going to get another Forza game. I'm putting it on the list anyway because I don't believe that they now want to be not shameless with Forza. So that's 6 titles off the top that I'm guessing is already going to be there. And that acknowledges every like main game. Because here's the thing, people are talking about, oh, but the new developers are going to show off their games. And I'm like, when you think about the 5 developers they got, Hellblade's developer is the most likely of the 5 of them that would put out something, and I guess Forza. So that's 2 of the developers right there. Ninja Theory, well actually no, Ninja Theory is Hellblade, so no. So then you have the We Happy Few developer. Well, their game just came out to pretty mediocre to bad reviews, so I don't imagine they have anything in development already. Something similar for State of Decay 2, their developers, that's the other one. Once again, that game kind of just came out, so it's another one of those situations where it's like, they might have teasers, but I can't imagine them already having anything. And, okay, we got a few surprises. Now, the problem with this also is that I forget if this is supposed to be 14 first-party games. If it is, there's some potential there, and it's not like it's impossible for them to have more games. But like my excitement for those games always go down because Microsoft sucked. Even on their first party offerings, they always hit in that same genre. Like if you're going to put out 14, let's say you're announcing 14 new games, and let's exclude 7 of them of games we probably already know are coming. You know the one thing I want them to be? And this is just a hope for them personally, because they'll at least get me interested in the game even if I don't end up buying it on their console. Which means you'll still get money from me one way or another. Like you probably did when I bought Cuphead on Switch. And when you talk about Ori, oh yeah, Ori Will of the Wisp is the other game they still need to talk about. So that's probably another one right there. I hope they're in different genres. I don't want no bullshit where you make a shooter, a racer, a shooter, a racer, or like a shooter with some varying action in it. Like, the other issue I always thought Microsoft suffered from was the lack of variety. Like, the third parties for Microsoft seem to have dual meaning. Obviously, they feel the role of being third parties to supplement the first party, but they also serve the role to be, like, other gameplay styles. Like, with PlayStation, they had different types of games. With Microsoft, it was like, I need you guys to cover my ass on every other genre we don't do. And the problem is that the stereotype people have about Nintendo with kids goes doubly as true for Microsoft and games that aren't shooters. Microsoft has a really stubborn audience who don't give a fuck about no other kind of game if there is not shooting in that game. One thing that's gonna piss me off jump, if I see it, is if they show another fucking car for goddamn Forza. I already have a high suspicion they're doing another Forza because they essentially turned Forza into a yearly series. They just change which Forza you're playing. It's either the normal Forza or it's Forza Horizon. You know, either Forza Motorsports or Forza Horizon. Whatever. Forza's Forza. It's essentially become the yearly IP for them. Whatever. You know what's gonna make me mad? If you put another fucking car on that stage. I don't give a shit about the car. The other thing that's gonna piss me off is that if the other unannounced games are like Game Pass games. That shit's not exciting. That shit's not interesting. For a service that already I don't even have to own your console to buy. I know they're probably gonna go into detail about it. And then some of you want to go, well, what about the next Xbox console? Is that something interesting to talk about? It's not something interesting to me, but it is something they need to talk about. Because if you're going to bother making a new box, promote the new box. Talk about the new box. Push the new box. And this is probably the best time than anything else to go ahead and talk about it. Because it's not like it's going to cannibalize anything else you got coming out. More likely, it wouldn't surprise me, but the new Halo is cross-gen. So go ahead and talk about the new box. and sell it while you have the chance to sell it. Because Nintendo's not coming out with like a new console anytime soon, and PlayStation is already giving hints, but because they're not going to have a major presence at the show, this is literally the best time for you to talk about it. So talk about it, push the damn system, because you're not probably going to get another chance like this. That was the main thing that hurt Nintendo and Microsoft originally back in 2012 and 2013. When they were talking about their consoles, they shot themselves in the foot. People always talk this bullshit about how PlayStation steamrolled them from the gate because it had such a good console. No. Sony just did the bare minimum. Sony did the bare minimum and didn't fuck anything up. Nintendo fucked it up by talking about that console, about the Wii U, way too many times. It was at like at least 2 E3s, which is too goddamn many. And Microsoft shot itself in the foot with all the DRM policies. PlayStation came out there and just gave you base shit. Here's a bunch of technical specs. This is what it is. This is what it can do. Here's a few games that are coming out. Look forward to seeing it in like 6 or 7 months. That's all it is. Oh, by the way, you also now have to pay for PS Plus, like PlayStation Plus. That is all online now. You have to pay for that. But no one cared because everything else was fine. Everything else was just fine. And people were excited enough. So for Microsoft, I'm cool with, if you want to keep showing Japanese and third-party games, go ahead. I'm perfectly cool with that. I think that was one of the best aspects of your conference. At least I get to see certain third-party games sooner. The only thing I don't necessarily care for with that, though, is that it then makes the conferences that come after you worse in comparison, because at least especially in Square Enix's case, where they didn't show anything new, so I was like, man, this conference was worthless. Although, from what I heard, the Avengers game will be announced, like, fully shown off this year, so we'll see. There's not like a lot else with Microsoft, honestly. Like, literally, there's not a lot else to talk about with Microsoft. They're pretty straightforward. It's like, hey, we're going to talk about the same 3 IPs we run into the ground. We'll probably talk about some other stuff we've announced, like Ori and Battletoads and shit. And then we'll have some new surprises for you. Like I said, Ninja Theory is the only developer I'm expecting anything like really tangible. And then probably a bunch of third-party game showcases. They'll probably talk about Game Pass. And if they're smart, they'll at least dedicate, I want to say, at least 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes on the new console. You gotta at least talk about it. Like, to me, the moment is so perfect, it just seems ridiculous not to talk about it, especially when your momentum is all but dead at this point. Go ahead! Make people excited about Xbox, because people are like, Xbox had a great show, and some people who sat there and even we co-signed, like the Juice Loose crew, not myself, co-signed and said, oh yeah, Microsoft had a great conference. Microsoft has had consistently decent conferences overall, but it doesn't mean anything. That's the problem. A hype conference doesn't do shit for me if it doesn't translate to me buying your console or buying shit for your console. So, yeah. And then obviously there was rumors of Banjo and Smash, but I'll talk about that with Nintendo stuff later. For now, that's all I got to really say about Microsoft. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Life's a game, play to win. Peace. Oh!